Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Dell Peace live streaming again. I hear there's like 40 people out there, which is fantastic. And with our alter ego, that means like we got 80 people online. That's terrific. I'm Chris. This is Instructor Evil, and we're just going to get right into it. So we just hope you understand that, first of all, this is obviously a very short class, but you can use this to inspire yourself to just keep working out at home and keep training. Enjoy. So we're going to start off with just shuffling our feet. Good, then bouncing from side to side and front and back. Nice hip twist. Jumping up in the air, landing in a horse stance, going from the horse stance back up the air to a small stance and back and forth. Good. Good, and shuffling the feet. Nicely done. In our warm-up, we're going to be reviewing a lot, so we're going to start off with a V-step. So we're going to step left, keeping the hands up to the right. Left and right. Now we're going to go left top to bottom right on a diagonal. So we're going to go back left top and then bottom right, left top, bottom right. Very good. Now switch to the right side, drop down to the left, top right, bottom left. Good. Now we're just going to do the whole thing. Left, bottom right, right, bottom left, left. Is Brad keeping up with me? I'm not sure.
I'm not.
Good.
Brad's got his own thing going on.
And hip twist. Nice. Good job. All right, another one we're going to do. Right foot check into a broken bow stance. From here, we're just going to do the turbo. Pump and push off. And then sliding back. Ready? Pump and push off. Sliding back. Ready? One more turbo. Good. Drop step. Front foot replaces to the back side. Good. Front leg moves first. 1, 2. 1, 2. Good job. 1, 2. And 1, 2. With the right leg back, high rising swing kicks. Ready? Hana. Ooh, maybe start off slower than Instructor Brad, but then move it up as you get going. Good. Once you're warmed up, just let that leg fly up, stretching out your lower back and your hamstrings. Good job. Sorry, sir. Louder? Okay. I'm supposed to go louder. Good, Instructor Brad. That's it. Nice. So if you're doing this at home, again, make sure if you're in socks and you're on the kitchen floor, you're not going to slip. Make sure you got enough friction on the floor that you're going to be safe. Good. Now Instructor Brad's going to go to the wall. And at the wall, he's going to start off with both hands on the wall. You could use a kitchen counter or a chair. And from here, we're just going to bring our knees up towards our shoulders on both sides. Pump those knees nice and high. So you're really trying to keep your back straight, but get the knee as high as you can. Again, go in progression so you're doing this. Now Instructor Brad's going to use the wall or the chair to kick up his heels. Again, warming up his quadriceps and his hamstrings. Good. And now from here, especially with the chair, pumping both knees up in front of him, using the chair for balance and then back down. So just basically a jump up in the air. Good. Thanks. One more, please. Excellent. Now from here, Instructor Brad's going to do side laterals. He's going to do one on each side. So he goes with his right leg, lateral stretch, and then left leg lateral stretch. Good, nicely done. Now in this stretch, what you're doing is you're putting a lot of weight on one side, but you're stretching the hamstring on the opposite side with your straight leg. Good, good. Nicely done. One more, and back to a vertical position. Good, now we're gonna be actually kicking to the side, right and then left. Just warming up those legs. Good. Instructor Brad's doing like 2 repetitions per side, which is awesome. Just loosening up those hips. You can lean slightly forward on this. Good job. And bro, we're back to facing the camera. From here, we're going to be doing 2 count, kind of like a burpee. So we're going down to our squat, then touching our hands. That's 1 count, pushing out, coming back to a 2 count. Ready, and hana. And dul, and set, and net. You notice Instructor Brad is going on his fingertips to make it more challenging for him, but you could go on your palms or on your fists. Good, one more please. Excellent, and right leg back chumbi. Now we're doing the can kick. It can be done with a spear kick or a front snap kick. It's to get your hips warmed up, keep the heart rate high. So I'll demonstrate first. You're gonna go spear kick or front snap kick, switch. When you switch, this is all you're doing on the switch. So now I kick to my left, then to my right. Please begin, sir. Nice. Good form. Now, if you want to get your heart rate a little higher, you're just going to go a little rapid pace. Nice. This is like, you know, stay away from that bowl of cookies. They're all mine. Good job. Keep going. Oh, I see that we're getting some heart rate up here. That's great. And bro, good job. Now, students, we're going to try and keep the heart rate up a little bit, but we're going into what's called cell pattern. In cell pattern, we're taking our normal pattern stances of horse stance, high back, and bow. Our stances are really meant to be big for flexibility. Now what we're doing is we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the same thing, but in cell form, like we're in a prison cell. So our stances are literally going to be inside of our shoulder width. So we're both going to start off with cell pattern number 1, the whole pattern. Just have fun, go along with us. Ready? Pattern number 1, advanced jumbi. Hana, dual set, small stance. Ready? With key ups and hana. Dual set, key up. Net. Tos. Yos. Yaga. Yoro. Yo. Yohana. Yodur. Finish. Awesome. Let's do that again. Now, as we do this, at the end of each line, you're doing a key up. At the very end of the pattern, you're doing a longer key up. So it'll sound like I, and then that indicates to judges or your instructor that you've finished your pattern. Ready? Pattern number 1, cell form, chumbi. Flower block, shuto. Hana, dual set. So the first one, we look first. Ready? Double knife hands down. Crescent step and punch. Same thing in the opposite direction. Now we go into an open X stance. Turn, block, double knife low. Step through, punch. Same thing. Block, step through, double knife hand. Punch. Ready? And number 11, number 12. Finish. Awesome. I hope you're catching along with this. Remember, mistakes are welcome. Just flow with it. Each time you get a little bit better. We're going to do that one more time without any counting. Ready? Please begin. Dual set. And seizure. Finish. Good. And bouncing nice and light. This time as we're bouncing, we're going to kick our heels up to our butt. And we're going to do that on every second bounce. So we're getting our body to relax a little bit, keep the blood flowing through our body. And every once in a while, we're stretching out those quadriceps and getting the heart rate up a little bit. Good. And we're going to continue with some light stretching. From here, we're going to point our foot out as if we're doing a bit of a front cat stance. And then we're going to drop the heel and drop our body down over top of our left leg, stretching out our left hamstring. I want to keep my upper body straight rather than curled right now because I'm focusing on stretching the hamstring, not my spine. From this position, I just come back up, point out, cat stance on this side. Notice the cat stance, the heel's off the ground. The other leg is at 45 degrees, the bum's sticking out, hands are up. Then drop that heel, straighten out your right leg, and stretch a straight spine over top of your right hamstring. Good. And then coming back, same thing on the other side. First your cat stance, then your stretch. Good. You should feel it in the back of your leg. Remember, in all your stretches, you want to feel a stretch, but you don't want pain. And then we switch to the other side. Start with a cat, moving straight into our hamstring stretch. The nice thing about this stretch is you can do it just about anywhere, which is fantastic. Good stuff. You can even do this sitting in a chair. All right. From here, we're going to keep the hips loose again. From here, Instructor Brad is going to use me a little bit for balance. He's going to go ahead and stretch out his quadricep. And as he pulls his quadricep up towards his glute, he's got his heel to his glute, and he just holds it there. If he wants a bit more of a stretch, he's going to push that side that he's stretching forward at the hip. So he's getting a good hip flexor stretch, quadriceps. It's all coming together. Usually you're going to hold your stretch for at least 8 seconds, and sometimes just until the muscle feels like it's starting to relax and release. That would be the best way. But we have time to keep here, so we're going to switch to the other side. Good. Here, I'll do this one.
Okay, you do that side.
So I'm reaching, I'm grabbing my ankle, and I'm pulling it up. I'm keeping my back straight. I push forward at the hip. If I can, I want to get that ankle or heel on the stretching side to go right up to my butt as tight as I can. Excellent. And then back down. Good. Everybody post to the left. Both hands. Stretch out your sides a little bit, your hip, and then to the right. Nicely done. Good job. We're right into some light kicking that's going to review kicks from white belt straight up to much higher belts. Right leg back, please. Jumbi. Great. We're going to start off just with a spear kick. In the spear kick, we've got our foot pointed. We're hitting with the top of our ankle. Go ahead, sir. We'll just go back and forth a little bit. And puck watching sides. Go ahead, please continue, sir. Notice there's like whipping action. The knee comes out first, and the hip is pushing, and then finally the ankle is projecting way out in front. The bottom support heel, in this case, Instructor Brad's right heel, is slightly pivoting, so he's turning, give himself a little bit more balance on the floor. Good, nice. And puck watch each sides. Now we're going to double front snap kicks, which look a little bit like this. We're going to go low and medium. So it's like knee and then towards the groin or the belly button. Please go ahead, sir. We're going to continue on this side until it feels like the rhythm is there. The hands are switching. We got a nice action in the leg. We're not getting any pain in the hamstring, but we're feeling maybe a slight stretch, so we can start to take this kick a little bit higher. Now the first kick could go mid-quad. Good. And then the second kick could go solar plexus. Nice. The hands are up and they're switching. Chin is slightly down, so you're protecting your neck even if you get struck there. Good. And puck watch these sides. Good. Now from here, we're just going to do a really low inside point kick. So it's coming in, kicking here. The idea is my partner is just kicking just below my knee. We're going back and forth. We're not really focusing on the target. We're actually focusing on the whole individual. We can see the target without giving it away. Now he's just doing it on his own. Good. So it's a really small 45-degree point kick, nice and low. Good. Excellent. And switch sides, please. And continue. Good job. And from there, back to shuffling. Good. Instructor Brad is going to face the camera. And from here, we're just going to do a Van Damme point kick through. So he's going to point kick and then go continue the motion all the way around in a circle. We kick nice and low again and then gradually build your kick up. Remember again, if you're training on a slippery surface like linoleum or something like that, and you have socks on, you want to make sure that you're not going to slip and fall and hit your head. So ready, and hana. Good, and change sides. And boom. Good, and keep going, please, sir. So you're just doing a Van Damme point, switching sides, and continue kicking all the way through on your point kick. Now, the nice thing about this kick, and please keep doing it while we're talking, is that you want to work on the form, all right? So now as my partner kicks through on this next kick, as they start to kick through right here, you want that knee still bent and the foot extended. And then as you kick through, try and carry it through, and then your reach chamber is happening right about here, so it pulls you up. So as I kick through, and then I'm pulling my knee up high to come around that corner. Let's watch it a couple times. So one, knee nice high. It carries you through quicker if you reach chamber your knee. Good, good. Excellent. All right, now Instructor Brad is simply going to throw side kicks. You're going to see it. I'm going to start off first as a demonstration. You're going to see it just this way, back and forth. So I just come up to my knee, fire up my side kick. Step up to my knee, fire up my side kick. Really simple, get the hips going. Nice. Notice how he's taking his foot and forming it up so it's dorsiflexed, toes curled up, hitting with the heel as on each kick. Good. One more, please. And now Instructor Brad's going to go right leg back. And then from here, we're just doing a side kick to the front. And I'd like you to start off again low and check your hand position. So you'll notice if my hands are up and they drop down, they're on either side of my body. When I start my kick, it should come up. I'm here. If I drop my hands, on either side of my body. If I kick out, you're on either side of my body. So go ahead, please, do just a full kick. Nice, and then change sides. So we're just going to ask you to try your back leg side kick on both sides, alternating. Check your hand position. Now on your own, you could be practicing this using much greater repetitions, but right now, for the purposes of our video, we're going to go to a point kick, Chico chugging, or Mawashigari, roundhouse kick. So now we're going to do this kick nice and low. Please go ahead, sir. So it's the same kick as we did with the Van Damme point. Then good, and then change sides. We're just focusing on this kick. Good, nicely done. One more, please. Now we're moving on to practicing some blocks for our kicking, and then we'll get back to kicks. Really quickly, can you go with us together? We have our brush block to block kicks. We have our reverse brush block to block kicks. We have double high forearm for high kicks. We have our high-low floating block. Good, high-low floating block here. Nice, good job. Excellent. Now we have our legs blocking to kicks that are really low to our torso or to our lower body. So we have our front crane, our 45-degree crane, our open crane, and our opposite point, or sorry, our cross crane in this position. So let's do that on the other side. Even from the back leg, we can go front crane. Good, step back down again. 45-degree crane, blocking. Good, open crane. Nice. And then our last, our cross crane. Now our cross crane can be here, or it can be here. It can actually be crossing the body, or we can actually set the ankle on top of the knee. So if you can watch, this is the way we start our opposite point kick, which is our next kick. So Instructor Brad's going to kick opposite point kick with his right leg, but he's going to break it down, starting off with his cross crane. Then he extends out, hitting with the top of his ankle, and then back down in stance. He's going to target my hand to hit with his ankle. Nice. Now we're going to take it past that point where you don't have to stop in this position. You're just going to simply make a nice curve inside to outside. Watch the whole kick, please. Good. Kick along with us. Opposite point kick off the back leg. Nice. Nicely done. And puck change sides. Ready? And see ya. Thank you, sir. All right. We're just going to finish off just reviewing some striking. So please go with us. Boxing skill set number 1. Jab, cross, bob and weave, cross, hook, uppercut, switch sides, right jab, left cross, bob and weave, left cross, right hook, left uppercut, switch sides. If you can practice this in front of a mirror, this is really helpful. Let's go right into our hammer fist as a review. Number 1 is down with a torsional twist, 2 high guard, and coming in, palm down. Pull back, set up your block with your left hand. Palm up, number 3, hammer fist. Drop, push out, point your elbow towards his target and strike. And now the same thing for knife hands 1 to 4, but with a knife hand position. Fingers close together, thumb tucked in. Ready, and 1. High guard, palm down, 2. Set it up, palm up, number 3. Switch your hands, number 4. Very good, shake it out. Right back to our clear chin jab, which we were doing the other day. So we're gonna go clear the block or clear the punches. Set your elbow underneath, palm strike, switch sides. Clear with your lead hands, come in and strike with your backhand. Switch sides, clear chin jab. Ready? Clear chin jab, shake it up. Nice. Well, we hope you had a little bit of fun in that warm-up and subsequent workout. Please stay tuned for more live streaming to come your way next week. And thank you for participating with such great numbers. Right now, I'm going to thank Instructor Evil. Thanks, Brad. And we're just going to go into a coach's corner. All right, catching my breath. I'd like to talk about this coach's corner because to me, it helps people to understand, particularly me to understand, the difference between honesty for the sake of honesty and honesty that actually helps to promote really healthy relationships. So, for example, someone could come up to me and say, you know, how do you like my hair? You know, and you could be really honest and say exactly how you feel. It makes me want to puke or something like that. That is not helping relationships, nor is that not honesty necessary, and it's certainly not kind. So one of the things that you could do to double check whether your honesty is fitting what you really want is to ask yourself a simple question. Is what I'm about to say necessary? Is it kind? Is it appropriately timed? Someone comes up to me and says, you know, Instructor Chris, your zipper is down and you're speaking to a whole bunch of people and stuff like that. And maybe that's a good time for me to get my zipper up instead of, you know, potentially worrying about that throughout the whole talk. However, if someone came up to me with timing and maybe did that before I got out in front of a camera or something, that would be better timing. So timing is important, all right? When you're a really good friend, you're usually very honest with your friends, all right? So, for example, if they're interrupting all the time, if they have horrible breath, if their body odor is offensive, you telling them that is not a bad thing. It's actually a great thing. It's how you do it. Can you do it in a way that shows them respect, that helps them to feel still good about themselves, and you're not embarrassing them in front of others? So that's where those three kind of guideline questions come in. I'm about to be honest with Instructor Brad, let's say, and tell him that there's food on his face and before he goes out to teach. And I think about, is this good timing? Yes, it's not interrupting him, it's not embarrassing him. Is it necessary? Well, yeah, it's kind of a necessary thing to help him out. And is it kind? Well, it's how I present it to him that makes it kind. So going up and saying, hey, buddy, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but you got some chocolate on your face, you got some food on your face. We've often been taught from little kids up to adults that honesty is always the best policy. That's an absolute statement which we know doesn't always ring true. There's many people throughout history who have been dishonest in a very powerful and loving way to protect other people. Often even children are asked to not tell the truth when a stranger calls at the door or on the phone and asks if your parents are home. And instead of saying, no, my parents are away, which may make you vulnerable to future attacks or something, you might say, oh no, my parents are here, but they're not able to come to the phone right now. So it is, we often would call that a white lie. In other words, it's a lie, but it's supposed to be harmless. I don't know if that's a good term, but it's just a common term. What I would just say is that we're actually lying, but we're lying intentionally. We're aware of what we're saying. We're not doing it because we're trying to be self-serving. We're actually doing it to protect either ourselves or others. Right? I think of the most obvious example for me would be, let's say, back in 1939, when Jewish people are being gathered up against their will and shipped off to concentration camps and eliminated, genocide. And people were actually putting their lives at risk and lying on a regular basis with their behavior as well as with their words to hide families in their attic or in their basement to keep them alive. So lying isn't always wrong, but when lying is self-serving, when it's stopping you from taking responsibility for something that would actually help you to grow and become a more mature individual, yeah, then lying is not healthy. So the example that I use is a true story of when I was 7 years old and visiting my Uncle Rob out on the West Coast. He was a pilot. He was this huge guy. He was like 6'5", deep, deep voice. And to me, he was like a giant. I was outside his house, which was like a little acreage, had lots of crabapple trees, and I'm playing with his son, and we're throwing crabapples back and forth at each other, catching them. When I happened to throw one too high for him, kind of trying to make it too high for him, and he jumps up in the air and misses catching it, and behind him is a house, and the crabapple hits a window and cracks the window. And I'm right away going, oh, I'm going to get into trouble. It's probably going to be Uncle Rob, and I'm scared of him. So that was my excuse to go ahead and lie. And when he came out and said, who broke the window? His son didn't throw me underneath the bus. He didn't point at me. His son just said nothing, kind of leaving it up for me to be able to take that next step of courage and tell the truth. But I didn't. I took the coward's way and I lied. I said, I don't know. I don't know who broke the window. I clearly know that he knew that I broke the window. You could see it in his face. You could see the disappointment that I had lied. He didn't call me on it. He just went, okay. And for weeks, months, and even years after that, I would remember that and feel ashamed and embarrassed about my behavior. And it led me to really think about it and to try and not ever do that again. I don't know if I was totally successful as a kid. I'm sure I had made some lies after that. It's a process, but I was becoming more and more aware that I valued me being an honest person. I hope that these Coaches Corners are coming across okay and clear. We thank you for your participation. We wish you a very safe and awesome weekend. Namaste.